So let's have a look here at Petra Shilkova on the outside. So she was part of the mixed relay quartet that were best overall at the European Team Championships last year. Bondrova, mentioned a moment ago, was also part of that. And they beat everybody who was part of the A race, including Natalia Kaczmarek, who brought Poland home in front of a home crowd there. 49.8 this year for Kaczmarek. That was at the Oslo Diamond League recently. 49.48 at best. This is Sophie Becker. And Ireland really do have a great depth in this event now. Adeleke, we've already seen. Maudsley coming up. This is Sophie Becker, 51.13, new personal best in Belfast recently. Suzanne Gogol-Volley. She was 6th at the World Indoors, having been 4th in Istanbul last year, the European Indoors. Andrea Miklos, perhaps an underrated athlete, 50.76. Her season's best this year in Ostrava last month. On to Anna Pollinari. Nice cheer for her, European Indoor silver medalist in the 4x4 relay. Berta Segura set that personal best in the heats, going sub 52 seconds for the first time ever. Lisa Lilja of Sweden on the inside, also having improved. The Nordic bronze medalist from last year's championships, which actually hadn't been held since 1965 until they were revived last year. So a couple of those athletes coming through the heats, and with those personal bests, should be high on confidence. And given that discussion we just had between Tim and I, let's see whether others are fresher. Of course, their natural quality of those who are seeded may shine through. Second semi-final of the women's 400 metres, with Lilja, Segura, Pollinari, Miklos, Gogol-Volley, Becker, Kaczmarek and Petra Shilkova. So top 2 going through to the final, plus 2-time qualifiers from all 3 the semi-finals. So fairly even from the get-go. As Becker actually going well in the green of Ireland, chasing down Kaczmarek early on, who we know tends to finish quite quickly as well. Kaczmarek in the white and red and Poland past Petra Shilkova on her outside, but Becker still going very nicely. 51.13 it was in Belfast last month, 0.7 seconds improvement this year. Kaczmarek, of course, will know that she can maybe save a bit of energy here and try and make it through. Becker, having looked in a good position, just fading a bit. Gogol-Volley and Miklos battling very hard over that second automatic qualifying spot. Miklos gets it just behind Natalia Kaczmarek. 50.71 across the line, and she was able to just gradually make her way through, eke out that advantage, hold on to it nicely. Kaczmarek looking strong, and always interesting now because we've seen Adeleke, we've seen Kaczmarek, and we have a chance to compare the two, but ultimately we'll see them go head-to-head in the final.
Natalia Kaczmarek looking very, very comfortable indeed, almost strolling around. Of course, Kaczmarek leading the entries here with her 49.80 that she set just over a week ago in Oslo in that Diamond League meeting. Miklos raising her game, so slower heat than the one we've just seen just a few minutes ago, won by Rashida Adeleke. Means that Gogol-Volley, well, she'll still be waiting to see whether she gets through to the final as the fastest non-automatic qualifier. And she was just so smooth, wasn't she? Kaczmarek out in lane 8 was really, really fluid, competent, 400-meter running, distributing her efforts all the way down the track, different sections, just spreading her effort. Really does look the part. It's going to be a fascinating battle between her and Rashida Adeleke tomorrow in the final. Of course, there's going to be other people involved in that as well. But at the moment, it's looking as though it's boiling up towards a brilliant head-to-head between the two women on paper that we're expecting to see go for gold.
Well, Susan Gogol-Valley, as you saw graphic that was previously on the bottom right of your screen, is in a position at the moment, having seen two semi-finals go, to qualify, but she didn't really dip across the line, and Miklos was busy looking up at the big screen opposite where the start-finish line is, so she was looking that way to see that she'd qualified in the second automatic spot there. Sophie Becker, you can see looking a bit disappointed. Went out really hard in the first 200 metres, tried to hang on and just faded, but still a decent time for her, 51, 54. Unfortunately, they won't make it through.
Susanna Gogol-Valley of Austria from Linz set a season's best in her semi-final 22 times, the national indoor champion. Well, this is not domestic athletics, this is the cauldron of international challenges. Lourdes Gloria Manuel of Czechia, European under-20 champion last year, set a personal best in Ostrava just a couple of weeks ago, the youngest in the field. She's only 18. 50.59 she won in Ostrava on home soil. Charlene Maudsley of Ireland, one of two Irish athletes in this final. She goes in lane 4, 3 times a World Championship finalist, and 4th in her semi-final, 50.99. Lavia Nielsen, well, the Briton has a great lane draw in lane 5, 50.73. She's getting closer and closer to the 50-second barrier. That time, her personal season's best and personal best coming in her semi-final yesterday. This is the danger athlete, the Irish Rasidat Adeleke, just 21 years old, 49.20. She ran in June last year at college in the USA, with studies at University of Texas in Austin. She goes in 6, Adeleke. Natalia Kaczmarek of Poland, very consistent. Silver medalist 2 years ago and World Championship silver medalist in Budapest last year. She has plenty of relay medals too. The super consistent Czech who has run 49.8 this year. Lieke Klaver always commits, the 25-year-old Dutch athlete. She goes in 8. 49.8 she ran last year. Very close to the 50-second barrier this year. What can she do? And the Andrea Miklos of Romania completes the lineup, the 25-year-old. 50.76 in Ostrava a couple of weeks back. Very, very close to her lifetime best from last year. It's a World Indoor Championship bronze from the relay. Back in 2016 as Miklos, she was a bit of a phenomenon as a youngster. She's only 25 now, so she was 17 when she did that. So, place your bets, folks, because this is going to be a very, very close race indeed, I feel. Great Britain had a 4th place through Victoria Urugu back in 2022. Rasidat Adeleke served her apprenticeship. She finished 5th there as just a 19-year-old in Munich. So that lineup from the inside again in the red vest of Austria. Susanna Gogol-Valley, Lourdes Gloria Manuel of Czechia in 2, Maudsley of Ireland in 3. Lavia Nielsen of Great Britain goes in 5. Sorry, Maudsley's in 4. Nielsen in 5. Adeleke goes in 6. Kaczmarek, we saw just now, in 7. Usually judges her races to perfection. She's a strong finisher. Watch her, the pole, in 7. Klaver in 8. Always goes out really hard in that orange of the Netherlands. And Miklos of Romania in lane 9. Second to right, Klaver, will she do the usual blast off? Kaczmarek looks like she's gone off quickly too in the red and white there, 3rd from right. Adeleke chasing hard, nice and steady with those long Irish legs. And also going well at the moment is Nielsen. She's committed well through the first 150 metres. Kaczmarek possibly leading. She's up on Klaver, who seems to have judged this one better. Is she saving something for the second half? Look at Adeleke closing up, gradually easing into the gap between herself and the pole. Kaczmarek being passed now by Adeleke. This is the battle for gold down the home straight. The rest of them swimming behind. Klaver coming through for 3rd place. But this is the battle. Kaczmarek has the years in her legs, the strength and the experience, and she nails it there. But look at the gap behind them. 48.98 for Kaczmarek. It's a massive personal best, exactly half a second than she's ever run before. Kaczmarek of Poland makes it gold for her nation. A proud, proud nation who are so experienced at 400-metre running and training. A lot of knowledge there. Adeleke, a brilliant silver for Ireland. Threw everything at it. Couldn't quite have the strength on this occasion through the last 50 metres. Fifth 2 years ago, second today. What will she do in a couple of years' time? And the bronze going to Klava, but a long way back.
Brilliant race. Sub 49 seconds. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has run a 48.75 as a world lead, but Kaczmarek with a 48.98 becomes only the third woman in the world this year to go under 49 seconds. It was wonderful, absolutely paced to perfection. On the top end, Rashida Adeleke put the Polish athlete under pressure. It looked like Adeleke was going to go away, but she was rocking and a-rolling. And the Polish athlete, who qualified third for this final, had the strength. She knew it was quick. You know, if you're shoulder to shoulder with Rashida Adeleke, this is a quick time. Wonderful. A silver in 2022, upgraded to gold. World-class running, Tim. I cannot emphasize enough, going under 49 seconds is outstanding. What another brilliant 400 final.
And Kath, the class of that run is underlined by the gap behind them. That was a brilliant battle through the last 70 or 80 metres between those two. Adeleke, a silver, a consolation, a national record for the Irish athlete. Supreme racing, and Klava adds to her medal collection. Brilliant stuff from the Dutch athlete. Some good running behind too. Look at that, a world under 20 lead for Manuel. But Kaczmarek, 48.98. That's a pretty select club of athletes who've gone under 49 seconds. Indeed, it makes her the sixth fastest European athlete ever for that gold.
Hello, I'm Leonardo Fabri, and you must subscribe to the European Athletics channel, because otherwise I'm gonna fight you.